Hi everyone, it is time for one of my favorite videos to film and talk about, and that is a quarterly empties video. So I save all of my beauty and makeup products every quarter. I just keep a little bag in my closet and I throw things in here once they're empty, collect it all for the 3-month period, and then I sit down, share all those empties with you, my thoughts, what I liked, what I didn't like, would I repurchase, have I repurchased, and what wasn't worth my money or time. So if you want to see everything that I used up in the, oh my gosh, third quarter of the year, so this will be July through September, then just keep watching. Okay, so let's start with some skincare. The first thing I have is a cleansing balm, and it is from the brand Good Molecules. I like this brand. I have used a number of products from them, and they are relatively affordable. However, I will say I liked this okay. Like, there was nothing wrong with it, but I do feel like for some reason, I feel like the e.l.f. cleansing balm just works a little better for me. It feels like this felt a little thicker almost, and like I really had to work it a little bit more to kind of get it to be emollient and get the makeup off, whereas the e.l.f. one just kind of like instantly does it. This is also, I think, $15 and the e.l.f. one is $10. I think I got this on sale, which is why I decided to try this one instead of the e.l.f. one. So while I don't necessarily don't recommend this one because maybe you want that thicker kind of texture in your cleansing balm, but I think I will be switching back to my e.l.f. one just because it's more affordable, and I just feel like, you know, they both kind of got the job done, so why not spend $5 less and get essentially the same thing. But I enjoyed using this and trying out a different one, but it kind of helps reiterate how I felt about the e.l.f. one. So that's also a good thing, and what I like about saving empties and using products completely up, you really get a sense of how you really feel about something. So use this up, enjoyed it, but I think I'm gonna switch back to my e.l.f. Another Good Molecules item that I used with this niacinamide serum. It's 10% niacinamide, and this I got as a free gift with purchase from something from Ulta like a year ago. So I just kind of had this in my skincare drawer, pulled it out to use. I don't normally think that niacinamide is something that needs to be a part of my everyday routine. I did use this, did I use this at nighttime? Yes, this was part of my nighttime routine because in the morning I usually use a vitamin C, and so I didn't want to be mixing too many actives together at once. So I do my vitamin C in the morning, and then I was doing this at night. And it's nice. It definitely helps hydrate. I know some people say that it kind of also helps improve the appearance of like their skin texture or their pores. I personally have never really felt that I've seen those types of results when I've used niacinamide, either with this or in the past. So I don't really know. I think it does help with like just generally feeling more moisturized. So I do like that. And this is relatively cheap. I would say that's what Good Molecules is good for. I believe this is like $6. So it's definitely a steal. It's similar to like the Ordinary type bottles with the dropper and the price as well. Like they're really affordable. I just personally don't feel like this is like a staple step in my skincare routine, so I won't be like rushing out to repurchase it. It's just kind of like if I have it, I'll incorporate it, but it's not a must-have. So I enjoyed it, but I don't think I will repurchase in the near future unless I feel like for some reason I really am needing that moisturization, or I really want to try out seeing if it will help with my pores or something, but that's not something I personally struggle with. So enjoyed it, glad I used it up. I did use another little sample of a niacinamide serum. This was from La Roche-Posay. It's just like this little tiny one I got as a gift with purchase. And since I was already using the Good Molecules one in my routine, I wanted to keep up the routine when I was traveling, which I did a couple times in this last quarter. So this was perfect to bring along for that. But again, niacinamide's not a staple in my routine, and I think the La Roche-Posay one would be more expensive full size, so not something I need to repurchase, but I'm glad that I used up the little sample. I'm trying to be better about using the small things up in my collection. And then the last skincare item I have is something that I feel like I include every single time because I am literally obsessed with it and I use it every single day. It is my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. This, I just love this stuff so much. It's like so moisturizing. Like I feel like I can just like get it on my face, like really rub it in, it sinks in, it feels so plump and moisturizing and also like cooling at the same time, which I love that feeling, and it doesn't feel heavy. So I love this, highly recommend. I always repurchase. I have a new one going. You can always look for sales at Ulta. Sometimes they'll do like buy one, get one 40% off of the Neutrogena brand. I've also found like a double pack of these at Costco before for like $30, so you're saving some money there. But yeah, highly recommend. Use all the time. Love, love, love. So that is it for skincare. So let's jump into some makeup. If you watched my Project Pan video update last week, you've already seen this product. It's my primer from Essence, the Hello Good Stuff primer. I liked this. It was kind of a mixture of primer and skincare, which I enjoyed. And like I said in that video, not to repeat myself too much, it's supposed to be a dupe for the Glow Recipe one. So this is a great way to try out that kind of primer for way cheaper, because this is like $6. And that's definitely way cheaper than the Glow Recipe one. So enjoyed. I'm excited that I used up a primer and that this really helped me reach some of my goals in my project panning for the year. I did use up a foundation, and it is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Tinted Serum Foundation. I had it in the shade 1-2.5 Rosy Light, and I did buy a pump for this because normally it comes with a dropper, which I think is so stupid, and I wish they wouldn't do that. I get it's like a serum foundation, so you want the dropper, skincare, whatever. It's horrible. It doesn't work. I immediately threw that out and put this in there. So recommend doing that if you get this. It works so much better and is less messy despite what you're seeing. It's messy because I like got my spatula in there and was like digging around to get the last of it out. But I really enjoyed this, and I think I could see myself repurchasing this just because it's a different texture and weight of foundation than anything else I have in my collection right now. It was definitely super nice to have in the summertime, so I might wait a couple months to before I purchase this again because I just liked the lightness of this, which is something I'm looking for more in the summer. The winter, a lot of times I'm okay to have a little more full coverage. I also need a lighter color in the winter. So I think I will hold out and maybe purchase this exact same one in like the spring and be ready to use it again in the summer. But really enjoyed. I would say this gave a light to medium coverage, and it was buildable. And the 1-2.5 I think was a relatively good shade match for me. I think they've come out with more shades since I originally bought this. So I would be interested to go compare and see if there's something that might be slightly a better match for me, but all in all, this was really good. It also worked really well with my other makeup products, which sometimes isn't always the case with thinner formulas. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Highly recommend. And again, you can look for coupons and things at Ulta to buy things from this brand. Also, as part of my project pan a couple months ago, I had used up a powder, and it was my Maybelline Better Skin Powder Foundation. This was the old packaging, and I finally used it up. I had repressed it a number of times, and it just, like, I had been like repressing it and all of that, and it just like wouldn't freaking die. It also was quite orange, getting quite orange for me at the end just because of the time of year. Like, that color is not at all what the color was, but it was getting too dark for my skin. So I'm glad that I used it up right in the nick of time. This was definitely one of the way older makeup products in my collection, because since then they have reformulated, repackaged, literally done everything to this product to make it different than this. So glad to use it up, but would not buy again. Not even interested in buying the new and improved formula, because this is also a powder foundation, not just a powder. And I have found that I don't love powder foundations. It's too thick, they are too drying. I'd rather just have like a translucent or like a really light powder to just kind of dust on to set something. I don't necessarily need my powder to provide me with a lot of coverage, if that makes sense. So glad that I used this up, got it out of my collection, and it just kind of reiterated my feelings about powder foundations. So let's see, I did use up a liquid eyeliner. It's my Hard Candy liquid liner in brown. I mean, I think there's actually like a different name for it, but I don't know, it's rubbed off. I have already repurchased this. This, I think, is one of the best brown liquid liners I have found. I have used the Fenty Beauty brown liner, which I love, but that one's like $18 or $20. I have the Flower Beauty brown liner, which is okay, but it's way lighter and more sheer than this. But this one is like a chocolate brown color, and it's like $8 at Walmart. So this I will be repurchasing for as long as I can find it. If I want to splurge, I would get the Fenty one. I think I saw some, like occasionally in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty Sometimes the Fenty one has been on sale before, but unless I see that, I probably will just stick with this one. But highly recommend. Don't sleep on hard candy. It's unfortunate that you can only really find it at Walmart. And I don't know about you guys, but my Walmart is now doing the thing where all the makeup is locked. Like even like the $2, $3 makeup is locked. So it is super annoying that anytime I want something, you got to go find a person and be like, can you please unlock this $3 lip gloss for me? Like, it's just, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, this is really frustrating and actually is deterring people from probably buying stuff when they would just normally grab and go, whatever. So, but I really like this liner, highly recommend, we'll keep using it. I use up 2 mini mascaras, both from Maybelline. I have a Falsies and I have a Colossal. These were fine. Minis sometimes aren't the best because the brush is really hard to use because it's so short and stubby. But I do like both of these mascaras in general. I just don't really see myself buying the full sizes of these. I think I have a full size of the Colossal already as a backup, and then the Falsies, this just came as like a free gift with purchase. And I've had the full size before and it's just like fine, but it does, this one particularly, I feel like does flake off on me more than the other one, and so it's not my favorite formula. So I don't know, they were fine, but like I said, I'm just kind of working through that. But the one I'm using now that I absolutely love, that I've talked about a million times, the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean, love that one. So when that is empty, I will definitely be repurchasing that. But sometimes it's fun to switch it up and try something else. This one, it doesn't look empty, but it definitely is. This is a Kosas lip oil. Like you can see how like it's just kind of dry in there. Like I literally can't get anything else out. But it's the Kosas lip oil in the shade Unbuttoned. And this was the Sephora birthday gift that I chose this year. And I mean, I recently talked about my summer lippies in a video in the summer, which I know that was like a couple months ago now, but like this I freaking loved. Loved the color, loved the texture, loved the formula. So I definitely could see myself buying a full size of this, even though it is more expensive. But of the lip oils that I have used so far, this has definitely been my favorite in terms of like color and texture. It just was like a perfect everyday color. I threw it in my purse and that's how I was able to use it up, just having it in my purse. So really loved, recommend, and I will be looking for the full size of this the next time I allow myself to go into a Sephora. The last makeup product I have to talk about is a setting spray, and it was the e.l.f. Power Grip Setting Spray. This was green, and I liked this in general, but you do have to shake it because it does separate. And then I feel like once it kind of got down to where there was maybe like a fourth of it left, the ratio was off, even though I'd been shaking it every time before I used it. So I felt like when I got to that point, it was more like oily than like setting spray, if you know what I mean. So I felt like when I got to the end, like I would really shake it up. I even diluted it with a little bit of water to just kind of help the ratio, but it's still, I would spray it on and then I kind of would feel oily and shiny, and that's not what I wanted. So maybe, I don't know if anybody else has any recommendations of how to like better shake this up every time you use it, or like if that's happened to anybody else. But in general, like it was fine. I liked it when I was first using it, but once it got to that point, I was like, this is not working well anymore. So I have repurchased a different setting spray. It's actually the Makeup Revolution the Glow setting spray, which I had not seen at my Ulta in like a very long time since the last time I used it up, and I was sad because I thought they were discontinuing it, but I found it at Target. So FYI, it's at Target. So that's the one that I have now. I love that one. I know I love that one. So that's what I have purchased instead. So I don't know if I would ever try this one again, but I have used many setting sprays from e.l.f. and have generally liked them. So if I were to buy one from e.l.f., it would probably be different from this one. So just not this one again. And then the last things I have to talk about are the little perfume samples. I have a ton of these in my possession right now, as I said in my last update, so I'm just kind of slowly working my way through them. I personally don't have a very strong sense of smell, so it is really hard for me sometimes to determine what I like or what I don't like. So usually I just ask other people or see if anybody comments. But I will put the scent notes on the screen for these as I read it out. So this first one was from John Varvatos, and it was the double X. Next, I had one, it just says Creed 1760. Next, I had one from Azzaro called Wanted. And the last one I have is from Pear Ink. So that is it for my empties that I collected for the third quarter of the year. I didn't have any hair products this time because I've kind of been very slowly working through my current shampoo and conditioner setup, and I have a couple going. So because I spread out the uses, nothing is empty. Same with my face wash. I've been switching back and forth between 2 face washes, so neither one is empty yet for me to be able to share in this video. But next time I will have shampoo and conditioner and face wash to share. So thank you so much for watching. I did, oh, before I leave, I do try to add up the total value of everything I used up for this quarter. So I think most of what I used up was drugstore. So that kind of goes into the total cost. I think it was like $120 worth of products that I used up in this quarter, which is pretty good, and making progress on clearing things out of my current collection. And I'm trying really hard to be more conscious of my purchasing habits. I did put myself in a no buy for this quarter, or for the quarter that just finished. So I think I can see that in what I used up. I used up things that were in my collection already that had kind of been sitting, especially my skincare drawer, my makeup drawer. So that's something that I'm really proud of myself for focusing on and sticking to. The no buy is over though. We are allowed to buy things again. So that's everything that I used up in the third quarter of 2024. Please give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it. And I would love to know if you also used any of the things that I used up, or if you have in the past and what you thought about them. I like sharing opinions and seeing what other people like and use. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are notified of all of my upcoming videos. And I will see you next time.